We are very excited and grateful to have Halima Kimberlee Bach with us today. Halima Bach has been on the Sufi path since 2007. She is a graduate of the University of Spiritual Healing and Sufism, where she also served as student representative to the university board. After graduation, she continued to serve on the board as well as a teaching assistant to year one of the university. More recently, she served as executive director of the Farm of Peace, and currently she is serving on the board of the Shadhiliyya Sufi Communities. She works part-time as an HR director for the Institute of Spiritual Healing and is working on her Master of Divinity in Peacemaking at the University of Sufism. She lives in Frederick, Maryland, with her wife Maryam and their 3 dogs and cat. Her teaching today is Choose Your Own Adventure. Halima, welcome, and thank you for being with us today.
Alhamdulillah, Abdullah Pat. It is kind of an honor and a dream to be here. My heart still is with the Minnesota community and everyone there, and so it's good to be with you all. So I first caveat, I know what dude taught a couple weeks ago about choosing not to choose. So this should not in any way contradict anything he taught. And if it does, go with what Wadud taught, because Wadud is much more wise, much more closer to Allah than I am at this point in my walking. Alhamdulillah. So that's my caveat. So when I was thinking about the teaching and what it felt like I was called to teach, Choose Your Own Adventure came up because I forget that the Sufi walking is the adventure of a lifetime. When you give your hand and take hand with the guide, it starts a whole new process in your life. And so I was thinking about I don't know how old you guys are. I'm probably going to date myself here, but my beloved, when she found out this was my topic, she bought me a book, Secret of the Sun God. It's a choose your own adventure book, where depending on where you're at in the book, it says, do you want to go route A or route B? And it's like, ooh, exciting. So you get a different adventure based on which route you take. And so I've got a couple things for today, but the first thing, the whole point of the Choose Your Adventure is, whose voice are you going to listen to? Because that's the adventure part. Are you going to listen to the voice of Allah or the angels who are telling you to follow the light? You're going to listen to your ego, your nafs, which are going to maybe tell you to follow the light or steer you in a different direction? Or are you going to listen to the voice of the darkness, which is going to take you completely away from Allah? So it depends. It really is from moment to moment a choice what voice you're going to listen to. But the good news is that even if you get taken off the path and kind of stray with the shaitan, you can always come back, because there's always the voice of the light, the voice of the angels, the voice of Allah that is calling to you to bring you home and get you back. There's always forgiveness up until your dying breath, which is what, to me, the Halim quality is about. It's the clemency, the mercy, the complete forgiveness up until you take your last breath. Alhamdulillah for Allah. So I'm going to read a little bit from CD Music of the Soul, page 119. And it just kind of talks about the veils, which kind of influence how we listen and what voices we listen to. My beloveds, this body is like a cup or a glass, but around this glass, it is very dense and thick. Some of this thickness or these veils are very black. This is the presence, but the glass carries the water, and the glass is necessary for the water. Allah wants this glass to be very clear and very clean. With the remembering of Allah and with the knowing of Allah, the thickness goes and the glass becomes more than white. Then you do not see the difference between the water and the glass or the presence. There's a deep thing here, and it is important to look. When you are still walking deeper and deeper, you do not make a separation between the water and the glass, because the glass becomes exactly the same as the water. After you have walked very deeply, your presence reveals itself without veils. There is only the water, and this is a sign from Allah. He wants you to return this holy veil, this holy presence, to be for him. He is the beauty, and he wants to see everything beautiful. He created everything beautiful. He did not create anything not beautiful. I want to read that again because it's easy to get caught up when you're looking around the world, and so easy to make judgments about things that you do not think are beautiful or you think are in the wrong. Allah created everything beautiful. He did not create anything not beautiful. Take, for example, the cat. When it is very small, it is very beautiful. But when it begins to grow up, some other qualities come to it. Something thick comes from every side, and it begins to steal or to do something which is not right. From what it does, you see many things around it, like a veil. It is exactly the same with human beings. Allah wants you to return to be a real child like before. This is all. The way of Allah returns the beloved to be the real child around his table without separation. Because in the world of Allah, there is no separation and there are no numbers, but only the world of unity. There's Allah and nothing else. So I'm going to take a moment there. I want to go back to the talk about the body is like a glass, because I want to kind of demonstrate veils a little bit. This is one of my favorite things to do. So it's not entirely accurate, but we have a glass here. We have water. I can't make the glass darker. So just imagine with me with some of the stuff I'm going to do. But inside this water is your pure essence. This water inside is your pure essence that you were born with. Clear, full of light. It is a part of Allah. It is there. I'm going to move my camera down a little bit. So hopefully this works. As we get older, here's the veils. Veils come in little by little. Misconceptions from childhood, things we don't understand, come in and darken. Now pretend the glass is darker, not the water, but in essence, they darken us so we can no longer see clearly what Allah has put within us. But then with the practices, this glass contains the essence of the practices, whether they be the salat, the remembrance, tawbah, whatever it is. As we pour and take care of the practices, little by little, doing the practices, purifies us and brings us back to the clearness, to the beauty, to our essence, the way Allah created us. And it's easy to forget what Allah created us like. It's easy to get caught up in our veils and to think less of ourselves and to think there's something wrong with us. Alhamdulillah. The practices really do make a difference. So I'm just wondering if anyone has any questions before I move on.
Just feel free to unmute yourself and speak if you'd like.
Assalamu alaikum, beloved. What is the fluid you were using that was so magical there?
Who is this, beloved? Who is
Me, Rivka.
Oh, hey, Rivka.
Hi.
Hey, so good to see you.
Good to see you.
So, you want me to give away the secret? It's the practices.
You don't have to.
No.
But it would be fun to know.
Yeah, I can tell you. So it's water with iodine, which creates the black water.
Okay.
It's bleach water, so bleach and water. And both of this, it's all 80% water, 20% either the iodine or the bleach. And then just regular water in the big cup. So the bleach clears out the iodine.
Very interesting. That's beautiful. Thank you for that.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Really lovely. And there was more water at the end. Like, you know, I thought that was kind of cool.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Anyone else? Now that my secret has been shared, that you guys can do this at home too. All right, I will continue on. So I'm going to keep reading a little bit more from CD, Music of the Soul. There is Allah and nothing else. He does not want you to look at your sister or your brother as though they are not a part of yourself. Your sister is exactly you, and your brother is you. There's no space for the other. If there is any space, I say to you, can this space keep itself complete? Can you keep your presence? Does your presence not travel? If she does not travel, and if she does not go, then I say yes, but everyone goes. And this means that if everyone goes, there's really no space for anyone, only Allah. You carry his secret in everything that you have, and in everything you have, he has given you. He puts his stamp in your body, but look deeply. See how many fingers you have? 5. The number of letters in the name of Allah is 5. What can I say? If I told you the secret, I am sure you could not walk 1 centimeter from this word. You are the secret of Allah. The beloved needs only 1 moment, but look in everything. It is very important to travel and to leave the pictures and to not look back. If anyone looks back, he loses himself like the wife of Lot. What an adventure that Allah is calling all of us on. The adventure to know who he is, to see him in everything, to know that there is no separation between any of us. Abdullah Pat and I are one, connected in Allah. And that is very humbling for me because Abdullah Pat, alhamdulillah, is a very special, very, very special beloved, whom I deeply respect and adore. But to think that he is a mirror for me, as I humbly say, I am a mirror for him as well. We are all mirrors for each other, mirrors of Allah. And the veils are what prevent us from seeing these things clearly. Our veils that happen, that start in childhood, prevent us from seeing the joy that comes in this adventure. And the adventure is to clean the veils, to clear the veils, to find a law, to find the meaning in the veils, and to walk through them using the practices that we have been given by our guide, Siddhi. May Allah sanctify his soul. So veils are misconceptions from childhood a lot of the time. They happen, we don't even realize that they happen. They are subconscious so much that we don't realize it. But others at times can see them within us. They can even happen in your utero. So we really have no clue that they're happening. So I'm going to share about one of my veils, which is the adventure I am on now in walking. And this is one that has been showing up as, you'll notice that there's a pattern in this adventure that Allah takes us on. There's something He is trying to get us to understand, to heal, so we can come closer to Him. He has always been trying to get me to understand that I am loved. I think for all of us, love is an issue, trying to understand that we are lovable in many ways. So I had this veil that came up when I was born because I was adopted. And so I did not think I was worthy of love. And it wasn't until 1993, when I was 25 years old, did I feel the first hint that I was loved, especially by someone in my family. And it was my sister when she said, don't buy a certain car because if you get in an accident, it's going to kill you. And it was like, oh, wow, she actually cares if I live or die. But I wasn't a Sufi yet, so I didn't know how to walk. I still struggled with this veil of being loved. She was the only person that I felt really loved me. I felt everyone else tolerated me. And it's only been the last couple of years that I've had the courage to look at this and realize how much pain this veil of mine has caused others, because I can't receive the love from them. Because I assume no one wants to spend time with me. No one cares what's going on with me. No one wants to hang with me. No one wants to, hear from me. And then I find out that people are hurt when I don't respond to them. When they make a date to go out for coffee with me and I cancel at the last minute because I'm like feeling like, they could care less. I hurt them because they want to spend time with me, because they actually do care about me. Still trying to grasp it. Still got some cleaning to do there. I mean, I have nowhere near perfected this. And throughout the years, thankfully, the last couple of years, I've had some friends who have had the courage to tell me how hurt they were when I didn't show up for them. And that started me realizing a little at a time that there was this huge veil here that needed to be cleared. And this was the next leg of my adventure. How do I respond to love? How can I accept love? Because I kind of can give love pretty good. But how can I actually receive it? Because it's not just about giving the love, but it's being able to receive it as well. And knowing that because we're all connected, if I can't receive the love, I am disconnecting from that other person's heart, even as I give them love. And that's what causes them the hurt and the pain, and actually just strengthens the veil within me. The more I don't allow myself to receive the love, the stronger the veil becomes. And that's what makes it quite the adventure. After I always forget how old I am. I think I'm 54 now. I lose track. 54 years I've had this veil of not receiving love. That's like, that's a thick veil, man, that I have to work with. Alhamdulillah, though, I've been shown it, inshallah. And I know what the next leg of my adventure on this walking is. But it colors every interaction. Our veils color every interaction we have with people. It's like wearing, instead of rose-colored glasses, we're wearing veil-covered glasses. So we're really not able to see each other as clearly as we'd like, as clearly as Allah is asking us to, as clearly as Allah is calling us to, as He calls us to unity, as He calls us to see that we are one. We are not just mirrors for each other, we are each other. Alhamdulillah. So I want to take a moment and have everyone ask Allah to show you a veil that colors your interactions with the world, with those you love, even with yourself. And show you what your next adventure is going to be. Think of the veil as an adventure. Don't think of it as something, oh my gosh, there's something more to take care of, something more to clean, something more to face. Because that just is when that comes in, that's the shaitan just like holding you down, trying to disempower you from your walking. Instead, oh, alhamdulillah, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Here is something more that's going to take me closer to Allah. Alhamdulillah. So ask Allah to show you what is that next adventure, that next veil He wants to take you on. Let's take a moment and think about that, or ask Allah to show you, inshallah. I forgot to open the Fatiha. And I'm going to say the Fatiha now because I realize I completely forgot to open with the Fatiha. Bad Sufi, bad Sufi. Right, so as you're thinking about that, I'm going to do the Fatiha. Astaghfirullah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Amen. I'm going to do a couple qualities as we seek Allah to show us. Ya Allah, Ya Fatah, Ya Alim, Ya Wadud. Ya Allah, Ya Fatah, Ya Alim, Ya Wadud. O Allah, the opener, the knower, the love. Ya Allah, Ya Fatah, Ya Alim, Ya Wadud. Ya Allah, Ya Fatah, Ya Alim, Ya Wadud. Show us, open us up to the new adventure, the next adventure you have for us. Knowing that you are taking our hand and leading us through it, that we're safe, that there's nothing to be afraid of. You are with us every step of the way. Ya Allah, Ya Fatah, Ya Alim, Ya Wadud. 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 Okay, come back when you're ready. And if anyone would like to share what they saw, remembering this is going to be recorded and other people will hear, but it's always good. You don't realize how many hearts you can touch by sharing what Allah is walking you through.
Maryam, go ahead and unmute yourself, please.
Alhamdulillah, can you hear me? Thank you so much for that, and even just for what you've shared so far. So it was interesting because as you were talking and sharing, I thought, oh, I know mine, I know. You know, I have that the sort of worthiness thing and a lovable thing, and so that was coming up. But then as we were with the qualities more, I got other ones that were like a surprise. So Allah brought in like that this next adventure is about like knowing my strength, and I was like, oh yeah, that's important, because I feel like, I mean, I'm healing from adrenal fatigue. It's been like 2 years of really feeling my weakness, I guess, and there's a lot of veils around that just from childhood. So it was like, oh, alhamdulillah, I wasn't catching on that was here, and so it was beautiful to just sit for a minute and let that. And then there felt like one about also like you're never alone. So those two felt actually like more alive. Like the other ones are sort of these background ones that just, you know, are always there to just keep like adventuring with. I like that way, holding it. But it felt like these two I wasn't catching in a conscious way. So alhamdulillah, thank you for that.
Alhamdulillah, that's beautiful. What a gift. What a gift, because it's so easy, because if you've been on the path for a while and if you've been through university, you've gone through the healings, you've identified some of your core issues, and you're like, oh, I know what it is. And then you're just like, it's beautiful when you get a surprise, alhamdulillah, because you're like, oh, I guess there's still more to do. And
it's like, yeah, and it for me, there's something so helpful about holding it in this space, because my patience is more. Usually I'm like, oh, I got it, I'm good, I just keep going. And you're like staying in the remembrance, and I'm like, oh right, if I actually hang out, then Allah can come in, instead of like my mind's like, oh yeah, I've been there. So stuck for Allah, alhamdulillah. Thank you.
Alhamdulillah, that's awesome. And I apologize, my puppies are whining a little bit. They won't leave the room. So if you hear them, I apologize. Would anyone else like to share?
Naima, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum. So what I got is actually, it's more the, like, I was just feeling as we were doing the qualities, really feeling into the quality of your teaching. Like, what was the quality of what that your teaching is bringing to me? And it kind of went together with the veil that Allah showed me. And it was this place in me that feels like the walking has to be a chore, or the place in me that feels like the walking has to be a struggle or hard. Like, I got to grind through this. I got to, like, work through this veil. And the whole quality of what I'm receiving from your teaching is this feeling of, like, that adventure, like there's joy. Like, I'm feeling this place in my heart that actually knows that like it can be in life, can be kind of lived with joy as the backdrop. And so that the walking is just like cleaning those places that say otherwise. So that was fun. It's fun even to see that. I didn't recognize that as a veil before. So alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Naima. That's beautiful. That is so cool. Alhamdulillah. May Allah continue to bring you that joy. Would one more person like to share?
Rivka, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum. So what I was getting was, so I'm working with speaking from truth, and there's like a place where I have fear of being rejected for, like, speaking my needs. And I was really just sitting with it, and I realized that I'm just working on my own integrity for what it's kind of like what I feel, not necessarily what I deserve, but what I just truly need, like in relationships. And so I'm just really inspired and been sitting with this adventure idea, and how it really brings the blessing in, and like the goodness of the constriction or the difficulty, because it's like it's all an opportunity. So yeah, I just was really grateful for that. Thank you.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Rivka. Appreciate you sharing that. And may Allah bring you even deeper in understanding. Alhamdulillah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's all kind of sit with those veils now that came up. And we're going to do a little La ilaha illallah into them to bring the light. La ilaha illallah is like the go-to remedy for, I mean, it does a lot. It takes care of tawbah. It takes care of connecting to Allah. It's kind of like I don't know, it's the catch-all. I'm just trying to think of like what medication like does everything that they say. It's like everything takes care of everything for you. So it's a beautiful, beautiful quality, or it's not a quality, but it's a beautiful light and energy that comes in. So sit back in your heart, feel into that place in your body where that veil is sitting. And let's bring the light of Allah. And remember that there is no God but God. There is no God but Allah. There is nothing but Allah. Everything is from Allah. Even these veils are gifts from Allah because they show us how to come closer to Him. They show us what is blocking us from receiving everything He has for us. He just loves us so much. He just wants us close. Alhamdulillah. La ilaha illallah. 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 Let's do a couple minutes of it silently to yourself, bringing that light of Allah into that space of your veil, asking Allah to clear it, to bring you closer to Him. If you're ready to, when you're ready to come back, just open your eyes. And then my apologies. I've just asked my beloved to come and see if she can come get the girls because I think they're hungry. And Hoppy is who you hear. She's my three-legged lab who makes it known when she wants something and will not be quiet until she gets what she wants. And she's 14, so I just figure, you know what, I'm just gonna let her do it. Okay, so if anyone would be open to sharing what occurred for them, what their experience was with that.
Go ahead, Maryam, and unmute yourself, please.
Alhamdulillah. I always feel so self-conscious sharing, but it also feels important, like somehow when I share in the group, it's like stronger and more powerful. So I was sitting with the veil about my sense of weakness and like I can't, you know, like I just can't, like there's a way I collapse into that a lot. And Allah just brought in all of this light and all of this strength, but it wasn't like I thought. It was like I had an idea of what I think like strength is, but it felt like the quality that came was more like truth, and that there was like this strength that was coming. Like the message I got was like, when I'm in full alignment with Allah, in the truth of Allah, and that's where the strength comes from, which is, yeah, not what my brain was making of your strong beloved. So alhamdulillah, and it feels like this walking of like really checking that central pole and like where I am with it, and just practicing kind of coming back and letting the strength come through from there, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah. Now, I don't think I've ever met you in person, but I know of you. I've seen you around. And just so you know, I've always considered you very strong and always seen just this beautiful light whenever I've seen you. And so, alhamdulillah, I mean, it's alhamdulillah for that gift that Allah gave you, showing you that, because that's how I've seen you.
Oh, alhamdulillah. Thank you so much.
No, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Would someone else like to share?
Naima.
I'll go after Maryam again. Thanks for leading the way, beloved. So I was working with that veil of that this has to be hard or life has to be hard, and bringing the La ilaha illallah into it. First, it clarified a little bit more how that's not me, you know, like kind of brought some distance between my essence and that veil, which for me is helpful. It's nice to really be able to see it kind of for what it is. And then, just get a little distance from it, get a little perspective on it. And then once I had the distance from it and perspective, like more into the veil itself, it just really just became, it's almost like that water, it just became clearer and clearer. Like it started as a separate thing and then just kind of dissolved into no thing. So it's just then just left with the essence, which is joy, which is pure joy. So alhamdulillah. And it feels like a nice, it's like not like this like bursting joy. It's like a very content joy, which same thing. It's not what I thought. It's deeper. It feels deeper.
MashaAllah, alhamdulillah. Thank you, Naima. Would someone else like to share? And remember, sharing actually helps all of us. If you've ever been in like Ibrahim's classes, for instance, I did his Ramadan retreat. And it's amazing that you think, oh, no one wants to hear what I have to say. And then you share it and it ends up reverberating and having an effect on all of those present because we could see a bit of it in ourselves. There's no coincidence that people are brought together to participate and to be present in the teachings of what happens because Allah has called all of our hearts together because there's something we have for each of us, for each other. Alhamdulillah. I'm waiting in case the introverts like me are hesitating to share.
Okay, Cindy's iPad, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, so that introvert piece would be me, part would be me. So thanks for waiting those extra 10 seconds or whatever it was. So what I was curious about actually was you were telling your story about your early life and that you were an orphan. And what I've always wondered is, you know, I hear about how we all have these traumas, these veils that for everyone seem to come in at least the first 3 years of our life, if not the first 7. And from my understanding is that God has placed us, has brought us into this life in those situations, knowing that we're going to pick up those beliefs from those situations, knowing that we're going to pick up the veils. So it's like, I don't understand why God is doing that. We come in pure and then we pick up the veils that he's put us in the situation, knowing that's what's going to happen. And then we have to try to work through them when there's nothing else we could have done as these infant, child, whatever, babies. So as I talk longer, I'm sort of getting more tongue-tied, so I'm going to let you speak now. Thank you.
Sure, hit me with a hard one. Thanks, Cindy. Alhamdulillah. You know, it does. it does sometimes, I mean, even for myself, there have been times I've told God to F off. I'll be blunt. Because it's like, you set me up. You know, I'm sorry, that's Hakima now, who I am not upstairs as they're being fed, and she's a little upset that I have not joined the pack. Astaghfirullah. So there are times that I've struggled with that myself. And it's just, it's kind of my understanding. And believe me, I'm not very far on the path. I am, you know, on a good day, I'm second station. On a normal day, I'm still first station, you know, if we're going to talk stations, which we're not supposed to, because it doesn't matter. Stations don't matter in the end of things, in the scheme of things. But this is like this big playground that Allah has put us in. And he's giving us these experiences. And he knows some of them are going to leave an imprint, some may not. But he also knows that he's there for us. And what he's hoping is that when we get hurt, that we'll come running to him with our skinned knee, and he'll pick us up. He'll look at our boo-boo and he'll kiss it and make it all better. It's not that Allah is plotting necessarily, although there are times I wonder, I will admit, but he's not plotting our destruction or our demise. He's giving us experiences so that we can know him through learning about ourselves. So I had to learn, still am learning about love. That Allah's love is vast and unending and all-encompassing. And he tried for years to keep showing me that that was the case, but I didn't want to see it. I just kept going around with my skin and knee and going, ow, 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 it hurts. Why does this hurt? And I keep reskinning it, you know, and I'd be like, why does this hurt? And he's over there going, Halima, come here, come here, come here. My arms are open. I've got a Band-Aid. I can kiss it, make it all better. And I'm like, no, no, like a little kid. So it's like, no, you know how toddlers get. You know, it's like nothing you do is gonna, you know, they want mac and cheese for dinner, and then you give them mac and cheese and they're like, no, I didn't want this. And so that's how we are. Allah loves us no matter what. And he's just waiting for us. He just wants us to know him. And he gives us these beautiful, painful, heart-wrenching experiences so we can know who we are and how we're going to respond to things, and then understand who he is and how he is going to respond to things and how he wants us to come to him so he can teach us, so that we can be one with him, so we can be one with each other. I am not sure if that helped at all. Can you kind of
Yes.
tell me?
Yes, it did. It did. Sorry to interrupt you. There's a pause, like a lag on Zoom sometimes, and we end up talking over each other. But anyway, yes, that did help. But I also understand that before we come in to this life, that we are in the unity, that we are one with God already. So we're already there. It's like, so we're already in that place that we're trying to get back to now. So I don't really, that's the remaining piece I don't get. So if you've already addressed that, I'm sorry, I didn't quite get that part, but if you have a moment, please I'd love to hear your thoughts on that as well, please. Thank you.
So yes, we are in the unity before we come here and we get the opportunity. It's not everyone gets the opportunity to be on earth and be human. I believe CD has taught that there's other worlds that spirits go to. And the Buddha has talked about this too, I believe. Earth is a really intense place for us to come because we're in the unity. As soon as we get here, we're veiled from that unity to some extent, although little kids are still in tune with it, but we lose that connection. And the whole point, it's like a game of hide and seek. Coming to Earth is about a game of hide and seek. Where is Allah? How do we find Allah? He's hidden from us, but he's not. He is actually hidden in plain sight. That's why CD says it only takes a moment. You can be in the unity in an instant if we just understood Allah is hiding in plain sight. I had an experience Mother's Day years ago where I was sitting in a coffee shop and I was doing some homework for the university. And all of a sudden, it's like everything parted and all I saw was Allah for a brief moment. I got a tasting of the unity to inspire me to move forward. And it was like, and I texted Wadud Laird. I'm like, Wadud, this just happened. Is Allah really hiding in plain sight and he's actually everywhere? And Wadud's like, yes. He's right there. He's always there. We have all these veils that block us. And it was such a gift for a brief moment that they were removed and I saw, and it was just like, wow. And as quick as it came, it left, but it was enough for me to go, okay, there's some reality to this. This I can remember. And inshallah, someday I will live there if I'm lucky, inshallah. Cindy, does that help?
Thank you, Halima. Thank you very much for taking this time. And yes, it did. Thank you. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. And it's also okay to say it didn't, and you're full of a bunch of stuff. Abdullah, we are over time, so I think I need to hand it back to you. Thank you, everyone. This has been wonderful, and I'm grateful that you were here. And next time I'll remember to open with the Fatiha. I was such a bad Sufi. So if Abdullah has me back, I don't want to assume anything, but thank you, everyone.